presented to. Because it does not kill the effect of the repeal. I beg to submit.
Thank you.
Isaac. Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, the AG has actually put it clearly well. One of the purposes of this bill is clearly for efficiency. And if we are going to have efficiency, we must be able to give the ministry time to know that it is ready to effect this. And so if we put a timeline to them, when they are not actually ready, then we do not achieve the purpose of the bill, which is efficiency.
Honorable members, the chair is saying there are processes that are to take place. Transfer of members, transfer of, but we are also saying, as we go into budgeting process, we are not going to budget for this. And because we are not budgeting for this, that means the minister will have to act as fast as possible. Immediately the assent is done, the minister will do it. It is a very straightforward thing. And I don't know why you are wasting time on repeals when you have more serious. Honorable members, I put a question that the proposed new clause stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
Clause 1, Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, the proposal is for clause 1 to be amended by deleting the definition of the word commission. The justification, the term is not used anywhere in the bill and makes it redundant. I beg to move.
AG.
Just to find out, does it hurt to have that word defined? Does it hurt? Because
but we are repealing. Why would you define?
To have it? Yes.
No. When you repeal, it ceases to exist. Honorable Ogun.
Right, Honorable Speaker, you have to admire the tenacity of our colleague, Honorable Ogun Silas. I agree with the proposed amendment.
Thank you so much. I put a question that the clause 1 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1 as amended.
I put a question that clause 1 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, the proposal is for clause 2 to be amended by substituting subclause 2 for the following. Without prejudice to the general effect of subsection 1, the specific objective of this act shall be to merge, mainstream, and rationalize the resources duplicated under the Uganda Trypanosomiasis Control Council to the ministry. B, to eliminate bloated structure and functional ambiguities in the ministry. And C, provide for effective and efficient service delivery by clearly delineating multiple organs to focus on one center under the ministry. The justification, this is the specific rationalization of Uganda Trypanosomiasis Control Council, and therefore the objective is not generic in nature as stated in the bill, rather specific to only the affected authority. I beg to move.
Thank you, Minister.
Madam Chair, I concede with the committee.
AG.
Madam Chair, I agree in totality.
I put a question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2 as amended.
I put a question that clause 2 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I put a question that clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. I have not heard. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
Clause 5, Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, the proposal is for clause 5 to be substituted for the following. Dissolution of Uganda Trypanosomiasis Control Council on the commencement of this act. The Uganda Trypanosomiasis Control Council is dissolved. Justification: the authority shall be dissolved on the day the minister appoints by statutory instrument to allow the transition and efficient transfer of functions to the ministry. I beg to move.
Honorable Minister.
I concede, Madam Chair.
Thank you. AJ.
I'm in agreement, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 5 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5 as amended.
I put a question that clause 5 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I put a question that clause 6 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
Silo, stop making my officer speak.
Clause 7.
I put a question that clause 7 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, the proposal is for clause 8 to be amended by deleting subclause 2 and in subclause 3 by substituting for the following. The staff of the Uganda Trypanosomiasis Control Council shall be redeployed to serve in the public service in accordance to public service standing orders. Justification: a change in government policy should not disenfranchise its own citizens and should secure the plight of its citizens who have offered a service. The staff of the Uganda Trypanosomiasis Control Council should be deployed in the ministry in accordance with the public service standing orders. I beg to move.
Right Honorable Chair.
Council.
Right Honorable Speaker, I will have a challenge with that proposal by the committee.
The administrative proposal.
Yes, there are two parties here. There's the employer and the employee. We cannot make a law that gags the employer. So the use of the word shall will be very counterproductive. Let's use may.
Yes.
Thank you.
May. Because if you've not been a performer, why should it be shall? Yes. Yes, Honorable AJ.
Madam Chair, I want to agree and applaud Okirol's proposal.
Honorable Kiro.
Honorable Okirol's proposal. Because the clause they are seeking to delete, the sub-clause they are seeking to delete, talks about compensation of employees. Public service has presented a structure and said technical staff will be absorbed. But some who are administrative may not necessarily be absorbed. So when you use shall, you will have locked them. So let's be flexible and adopt the proposal by Honorable
So
Kirol.
redraft? Redraft?
Yes, we shall draft to say, let me look at it. We shall draft to use the word may, right, Honorable? Instead
The
of shall.
staff of Uganda, no, where you redraft and replace where the shall to be may.
Okay. The staff of the Uganda Trypanosomiasis, I know someone wants to hear me struggle with this word.
Control Council shall be.
The staff
It
of
is
the
act-
Uganda Trypanosomiasis Control Council may be redeployed to serve in the public service in accordance with public service standing orders. I beg to submit.
I put a question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the Deputy Attorney General. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8 as amended.
I put a question that clause 8 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
Title, I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the committee of the whole House reports thereto.
I put a question that the House does resume and the committee of the whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I seek the indulgence of the House. I'm a proud student, old student of Kakomo Primary School, so you'll forgive me just in case of anything. Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill entitled the Trypanosomiasis and passed it with amendments.
I put a question that the report of the committee of the whole House be adopted by this honorable House. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Bill third reading. The Uganda Trypanosomiasis Control Council Repeal Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report from the Committee of the Whole House be adopted.
Which report?
No, but you had skipped that.
We're in third reading.
Okay. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Trypanosomiasis bill be read the third time and do pass.
Thank you. Honorable members, I put a question that the Uganda Trypanosomiasis Control Council Repeal Bill 2024 be read a third time and do pass. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Uganda Trypanosomiasis Control Council Repeal Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill passed. Thank you. Next.
Bill second reading. The Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Bill 2024.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Agriculture Chemicals Control Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time.
Is the bill seconded? Is the bill seconded? Seconded by the whole House. Seconded by the whole House. Would you want to speak to your bill?
Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, this bill, the amendment of the Agricultural Chemicals Control Act 2007 is to enable the mainstreaming and rationalization of the functions of the Agricultural Chemical Board into the ministry responsible for agriculture, to facilitate and effectively deliver services by mainstreaming the mandates of the board that we think now is a bit redundant. We therefore want to commend to the House to do this amendment to enable government to function effectively.
Honorable Minister, you've heard the justification. Could you give us a summary? Because it's something direct. I mean, Chair.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to thank you for the opportunity again. I beg to lay on table the report of the Committee on Agriculture.
Felix, you leave our wife.
On the
Felix.
On the Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Bill
Linda, you
2024.
sitting here at the
I beg to
Vandega.
lay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right Honourable Speaker, in the same vein, I would like to read the minutes of the meeting while the committee was considering the Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Please lay.
Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank you again for this opportunity to present this report. And Right Honourable Speaker, I noticed that we are also very key persons and we are struggling with the word trypanosomiasis. And I request members, if you want to manage that word, break it into two, trypanosomiasis. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I am going to give a summary. The bill on the Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Bill raises these questions: whether the mandate of the Agricultural Chemicals Board overlaps with the Ministry of Agriculture, and whether the Agricultural Chemicals Board has served the purpose for which it was created. The committee interacted with those ministries, but the board did not appear before the committee, much as we extended several invitations. Committee observations. The Agricultural Chemicals Board was established by the Agricultural Chemicals Control Act 2007, Act 1 of 2007, to control and regulate the manufacture, storage, distribution, and trading, use, importation, and exportation of agricultural chemicals and other related matters. The board is responsible for providing for the regulations of information used in packaging, labeling, or advertising of agricultural chemicals, and to prevent illegal activities related to mislabeling and mispackaging. The committee observed that the mandate of the board is not so unique that it cannot be performed by the ministry. The committee recommends that the Agricultural Chemicals Board be mainstreamed into the Ministry of Agriculture. On whether the Agricultural Board has served its purpose for which it was established, the board has been responsible for providing the policy framework for control and regulation, including registration of agricultural chemicals such as pesticides, fertilizers, growth regulators, wood preservatives, biopesticides, biofertilizers, or any other chemicals used for promoting and protecting the health of plants. The committee notes that the market is flooded with the counterfeit agrochemicals, which the entity has failed to reduce and eliminate. The board's presence in the field to inspect and deal with the unauthorized dealers in agro-inputs could not be established by the committee. The committee recommends that the Agricultural Chemicals Board be mainstream in the ministry. Observations on provision for the commencement date. The Agricultural Chemicals Control Act 2007 created a secretariat which had obligations and executed some contracts. It will be detrimental to the operations of the sector if the law is assented to and the agency ceases to exist immediately. Some of the properties of the entity have not yet been accounted for. There is need for a transition period after assent to provide for winding up processes. The committee therefore recommends that a commencement date be provided for in the bill, and it should not exceed 3 months. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, in conclusion, thank you again for your attention. I beg to move.
Thank you so much, honorable members. You've heard mainstreaming is what is going to be done, and it's a direct thing. Yes. Sechi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
Sechi is bringing emotion.
No, not
to go to the next, to the committee stand.
but
after your slide.
Just a slight observation, Right Honorable Speaker, where the committee failed to interact with the board. The board itself, which we are trying to mainstream, and the chair is on record telling us that they extended several invitations. And in the absence even of the responsible ministers, further complicates the matter. Right Honorable Speaker, for us who are involved with agriculture, it is terrible down there. You get agricultural chemicals which destroy the entire farmland. And the after effect of applying some of the acaricides, strange and very dangerous weeds have emerged in our fields and gardens. And I think this is happening throughout the country. So this is not a small matter. I don't know. But the way we are treating it, it is as if it's a small matter. But Madam Chair, 90% of our livelihood depends on agriculture. And yet again, it is saddening that those who are responsible for the docket choose to skip this important scrutiny when members are holding the.
By the way, the council members are not the technical people. Council is appointed just to oversee. Chair, what do you have to say?
Thank you, Right Honorable. Right Honorable, when we inquired why the Agricultural Chemicals Board couldn't appear, the information we got is that they have been operating under the ministry. So the ministry is final. It is like when they invite you, the parent, like they invite Honorable Seki Kubo, you make your position, and again you want your son to come and comment. So this is a board that has been operating within a ministry. And I see no problem.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. It is true that we have so many issues with agricultural chemicals in this country. But what is going to cure that problem is for us, for the government to come on the floor with a bill that is going to bring in place the regulation of veterinary drugs and agricultural chemicals. That's what we are waiting for. We ask the government to expedite that bill. I understand the problems which Honorable Sechikubo is talking about. They are real problems, but it is not this board that is going to cure. Actually, the board has been there, and there has been those problems. So it is better that we expedite the regulation that is going to put in place a board, an authority that is going to bring in the veterinary drugs and agricultural chemicals together so that they are regulated, and that's how we are going to cure the problem in this country.
So you're in agreement with the committee?
I'm in agreement with the committee that we move. Yes, I'm in agreement. I'm giving information.
He's
Yes, I'm
giving,
giving
he's
information.
actually giving information
And
as a vet doctor.
a professional information.
Yes,
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday, as we were going through NFA, the chairperson gave us statistical figures as to how much we are going to save or how much it will be expensive for us to streamline the agency. The chairperson of the committee, I would have liked it that he tells us how much we are going to save as a nation as a result of mainstreaming that board. It's important, Right Honorable Speaker, so that by the time we walk out of here, we're able to tell the public that the purpose and the rationale of this is actually helping government on these figures. It is very paramount. Thank you.
and by the way, we are only not saving because of cost saving, but efficiency. Efficiency, this is not on a cost. Because the people who have already been working there, now we want the efficiency. There are some things you cannot quantify. Emotion. There's a motion from Yona.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm going to move the motion, but I wanted some little clarification from the chair. Chair has said that we need to streamline this board because they're underperforming and they have left counterfeit chemicals, herbicides into the market. I want to know whether where we are transferring the board, they will not face the same challenge after hearing from a technocrat, Dr. my friend Obed Wanika, that the issue was not the board. The issue was the lacuna in the law because there was no regulation to regulate these acaricides in this country. So I think I want to water down the reasoning of the chair, and the committee, yes, that the problem was these people, the problem was the lacuna in the law.
In the law.
So after hearing from the two sides, and we all know these chemicals, the herbicides, they are not only affecting our plants, because me as a scientist, I know when it affects the plant, it ends up in your body.
True.
It is a dangerous issue. As we may streamline, we may not, but that is not the end of the story. Let's work as a committee of agriculture, work hand in hand with your ministry to make sure that you bridge the gap of the lack of the law to regulate those chemicals. We are all, cancerous issues have emerged so much. Every day I may ask all of you, we know what we have back home. Issues of cancer are not only because of the climate change, but are also because of these issues we have created. Every food we are eating is mostly carcinogenic. The doctors are here, they can tell us what the word carcinogen means. So I want to move the motion as requested by the speaker.
I've not requested you.
I withdraw. I have submitted. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion. Now, this guy on here.
Right, Honourable Speaker, basing on the fact that we are going to look at clause by clause, I want to move a motion that we go to second reading so that we can look at the different clauses.
Thank you. Seconded. Seconded by Yona. By veterans, Hajat, Okiror, Afande. Why are you not standing up? I've seen the whole behind. The whole behind bench. The whole behind bench is seconding. Bushenyi is seconding. Patrick is seconding. Dr. Rionga, Shema, Honorable Ochwa. Workers. Honorable members, it has been seconded by the whole House. I am now putting a question that the Agricultural Chemical Control Amendment Bill 2024 be read for the second time. Those in favor say on the control and nay. The ayes have it.
The Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage.
Chair.
Clause 1.
Chair.
Clause 1, Chair.
Chair, some procedure, Chair. I don't know, and I wonder whether the clerk at table has guided well the chair. But usually, Chair, once you reach this committee stage,
Don't worry.
the speaker leaves the chair.
Don't worry. What matters is
No, Chair. No, Chair. They have the rules. I have the chair. No, it is here in the rules. Chair. A select one.
Chair, can we
Chair.
have
New clause.
Right Honorable Chair, the proposal is to insert a new clause, the Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Bill 2024 is amended by inserting a new clause before clause 1, the following. The commencement date, the act shall come into force on a date the minister responsible for agriculture by statutory instrument appoints. Justification, there are many actions required to be performed by both the Repeal Agricultural Chemicals Board and the Ministry after the Act has been ascended to mainstream the functions and the mandates performed by the agency into the Ministry responsible for agriculture. I beg to move.
Thank you. Minister.
Madam Chair, I concur with the committee.
AG.
I am fully in agreement.
I put a question that the proposed new clause stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
Honorable members, we sit here for so long. But at least when I'm here, I have where to put my legs. Don't make me lame. I'm still so young. I'm actually looking for triplets now. Now that the tenures are 6 months, and now I'm looking for triplets. So, Clause 1.
Right Honorable Chair, the proposal is that clause 1 is amended by deleting the definition of the word commission. Justification, the term is not used in the bill and is thus redundant. I beg to move.
Minister.
Madam Chair, I agree with the committee. It's the same that we passed a few minutes ago.
AG.
Chair, I concur.
I put a question that clause 1 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1 as amended.
I put a question that clause 1 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
Clause 2.
Right Honorable Chair, the proposal is for clause 2 to be amended by substituting subclause 2 for the following. Without prejudice to the general effect of subsection 1, the specific objective of this act shall be to merge, mainstream, and rationalize the resources duplicated under the Agricultural Chemicals Board to the Ministry, to eliminate bloated structure and functional ambiguities in the Ministry, to provide for effective and efficient service delivery by clearly delineating multiple organs under the Ministry. Justification: this is the specific justification for rationalization of the Agricultural Chemicals Board, and therefore the objective is not generic in nature as stated in the bill, but rather specific to only the affected authority. I beg to move.
Minister.
Madam Chairperson, I concur with the committee.
AG.
Madam Chair, I'm in agreement.
I put a question that clause 2 be amended as proposed by the committee. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2 as amended.
I put a question that clause 2 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I put a question that clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
Clause 4.
Right Honorable Chair, the proposal is for clause 4 to be substituted for the following. Dissolution of the Agricultural Chemicals Board. On the commencement of this act, the Agricultural Chemicals Board is dissolved. Justification: the authority shall be dissolved on the day the minister appoints by statutory instrument to allow the transition and efficient transfer of functions to the ministry. I beg to move.
Minister.
Madam Chair, I agree with the committee's proposal.
Thank you. AG.
I'm in agreement with the committee proposal.
Thank you. I put a question that the clause 4 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4 as amended.
I put a question that clause 4 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I put a question that clause 5 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I put a question that clause 6 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I put a question that clause 7 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I put a question that clause 8 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I put a question that clause 9 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I put a question that clause 10 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 11.
I put a question that clause 11 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 12.
I put a question that clause 12
Right, Honorable Speaker, I make an observation in respect of clause chair on clause 12. When you look at clause 12, it provides for commencement of this act, that all
which
property
was
assets,
already provided for.
yes, that all property, assets, rights and obligations and liabilities of the board shall vest in the ministry. But I find a challenge with the sub-clause 4. If you read sub-clause 4, it is suggesting that compensation is not payable to any member of the board of the Agricultural Chemicals Board for loss of office resulting from the abolition of the board by this act. This is self-defeating. We cannot make a legislation in this context because compensation, I will seek to be guided by my senior colleague, compensation is a common law remedy which can be available if you have a right which has been violated and you go to court. You can be given compensation in respect of a default, failure by government to perform certain obligations. So we cannot curtail it from that level and say you cannot be compensated. So I think my suggestion is that we delete sub-clause 4, and the first, second, and third can stay.
Yes.
Most of them.
Yes.
Just further clarification. We noticed this in most of actually these bills, even the previous one that we passed. It is clearly stating that there is no compensation for any board member.
Yes,
a number of them.
you can't tie your own
Members, even the previous ones. And to be honest, some of these board members have really served these entities for a very long period of time. Just to rubbish them off totally like this may not be that fair.
No, they will
leave
go
it
and seek
open.
for remedy once they feel their rights have been infringed. Let's delete 4.
Yes, we can delete 4, but actually, to show you that 4 is actually redundant, when you read 2, 2 even gives you a right. It says any proceedings commenced by or against the Agricultural Chemicals Board may be continued by or against Attorney General. It allows you even to go to court. So why do you go to court and you say you cannot achieve certain remedy? Thank you.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I'm in agreement with the proposal that sub-clause 4 is redundant because 2 and 3 cater for it.
So you're deleting?
We delete clause 4, sub-clause 4 of clause 12.
Okay. Notice 12. I put a question that clause 12 be amended as proposed by the Attorney General by deleting subsection 4. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 12 as amended.
I put a question that clause 12 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto.
I put a question that the House does resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the whole House.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the whole House has considered the bill entitled the Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Bill 2024 and passed it with amendments.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the report from the Committee of the whole House be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the whole House be adopted by this August House. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Bills third reading. The Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Bill 2024.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass.
I put a question that the Agricultural Chemical Control Amendment Bill 2024. Be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor send, the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill passed. Congratulations. Congratulations. Next.
Bill second reading, the Dairy Industry Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable members, before we go there, we in the public gallery this morning we have students and teachers from Munta Royal College from Katikamu South, Luero. They are represented by Honorable Kirumira Hassan and Honorable Nabu Kenya. Brenda, you're most welcome. You're very smart. Very, very smart. You're welcome and thank you for coming. Please come again. Honorable members, in the VIP gallery this morning we have a delegation from the British High Commission and the Westminster Foundation for Democracy. You're most welcome. Thank you so much for coming. They include Mr. Simon Harris, the second Secretary, British High Commission. Welcome. Mr. Isam Norris, Uganda Desk Officer, Foreign and Common Development Officer in London. You're most welcome. Mr. Joseph, Westminster Foundation for Democracy, Country Director, Uganda. You're most welcome. Mr. Keith Mtevi, the Political Officer, British High Commission. You're all most welcome to Parliament of Uganda. And as you know, we are under the Commonwealth Parliament. So while here, feel at home. This is your Parliament. Most welcome. Thank you. Next.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Dairy Industry Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time.
Seconded. Seconded. The diary. We are talking about diary. The seconded by the whole house. Seconded by the whole house. All the cattle keepers are here. Can you justify your bill?
Madam Speaker, the object of the bill is in line with the policy of rationalization of government departments to save resources, to improve on the efficiency and effectiveness in the manner we provide services to the people of Uganda. And we believe that by mainstreaming and rationalizing the direct cooperation within the ministry will provide that opportunity for the ministry to offer even better services to the people of Uganda. I beg to move.
Honorable members, we need better services for the dairy. And that is the justification that is being given by the minister. And we are talking about the dairy corporation, the milkers. Honorable Minister, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
We need a summary.
Right Honorable Speaker, you may have to protect me from the minister who has been delegated.
What is it?
He is telling me to over-summarize. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the report of the Committee on Agriculture and Animal Industry and Fisheries on the Dairy Industry Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
In the same vein, I beg to lay the minutes of the committee while considering the bill on the animal industry. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
Right Honorable Speaker, I now beg to present the report of the Committee on Agriculture on the Dairy Industry Amendment Bill 2024.
Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, I go straight to page 2. The Dairy Development Authority is a semi-autonomous agency which was established by the Dairy Industry Act 1998 and operationalized by the Dairy Marketing and Processing of Milk and Milk Products Regulations 2003. The mandate of the authority is to develop and regulate the dairy industry in Uganda through providing development and regulatory services that will ensure increased production and consumption of milk, sustainable and profitable dairy industry that will contribute to economic development and nutritional standards in Uganda. The authority implements its mandate through the regional approach, model approach, covering southwestern, eastern, northeastern, central, northern, and midwestern regions. DDA has its presence at some of the main dairy entry and exit border points that include Malaba, Busia, Mutukula, Entebbe International Airport, with access to Uganda Revenue Authority's ACYCUDA system to clear dairy consignments. The objective and the justification for the bill has already been said by the minister. It is the same for the rest of the RAPEX bills. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, there are questions that this bill raises, whether their mandate overlaps between the Dairy Development Authority and the Ministry of Agriculture, and whether Dairy Development Authority has served the purpose for which it was established, whether DDA costs of administration drain the treasury at the expense of service delivery. Committee findings and recommendations. According to the Dairy Industry Act, it is mandated to develop and regulate the dairy industry in Uganda through providing development and regulatory services that will ensure increased production and consumption of milk, sustainable and profitable dairy sector that will contribute to economic development and nutritional standards. I'd already said this. Section 5 of the Dairy Industry Act mandates the authority to register and license milk processors, traders, dairy farmers groups, and to support farmer marketing organization. DDA also advises and enforces milk standards according to established standards by UNBS. The committee notes that DDA has fulfilled the above mandate by carrying out the activities that are lined up below: registration, inspection, sampling and analysis for milk and milk products, for chemical and microbiological analysis, for adulterants and contaminants in accordance with international standards. DDA also carries out sensory evaluation of milk and milk products, and it has set up a national analytical laboratory at Lugogo in Kampala, and the agency has on-spot milk testing mobile laboratory vans. It also does rehabilitation of milk cold chain infrastructure in those areas that have been mentioned. For purposes of time, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues can read those districts. Then also value addition, training and skilling at the Entebbe Dairy Training School, and establishment of milk and milk products traceability system. The system starts from the milk collection and back centers through the value chain to the processing lines and eventually to the final product, and also market access through promotion of domestic milk consumption and market access to regional and international markets. The committee notes that while DDA has restored the dairy sector, which had collapsed following the dissolution of dairy cooperation, MAIF has at the same time maintained a dairy division over the years. However, the committee has not been able to establish performance of this division under the ministry. On increased production and market potential for the dairy sector, the committee notes that at the inception of DDA, the dairy industry had collapsed. The cold chain infrastructure had collapsed. By 1986, milk collection was 3,043,000 liters annually. With the interventions of DDA since 2000, milk production has increased from 2.7 billion liters in 2019 to 3.9 billion liters by 2023. The milk collection centers have increased from about 15 in 1986 to 547 in 2023. Milk processing companies have increased from just one, Dairy Corporation Limited, with a processing capacity of 60,000 liters per day in 1986 to 160 processing companies today, with a processing capacity of 3.9 million liters per day. Right Honorable Speaker, the country has 87 high-volume milk producing districts, mainly in the cattle corridor, which have cattle keeping as a source of livelihood. The dairy industry provides employment to about 12 million people, majorly in rural areas. The dairy value chain is driven by smallholder farmers, whom we represent in this House, input and service providers, milk collectors, milk bulkers, transporters, traders, and processors, among others. In addition, the industry provides food and income for more than 40% of the population of the country. Under DDA, dairy exports have more than tripled from Uganda shillings 287.4 billion to Uganda shillings 976.4 billion from 2019 to 2023. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, Uganda is now poised to enter the Algerian market, estimated at US dollars 500 million annually. That was negotiated by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. The export markets require that exporting countries should be routinely inspected by competent and autonomous regulatory authorities to ensure safety and quality of the dairy products. This requires efficient milk production, regulation, maintenance of strict quality standards that this rationalization risks jeopardizing. The table below, Right Honorable Speaker, it shows the trend of milk production in the country from 2018 to 2023. And it is clear, honorable colleagues, you can analyze it for yourselves. Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, Table 2 shows the installed capacity of milk processing factories from 2019 to 2023. Table 3 is the value of dairy exports from 2019 to 2023, which I had already talked about. On international accreditation, Right Honorable Speaker, the National Dairy Analytical Laboratory under DDA is in its final stages on attaining full accreditation, having been awarded recognition certification under ISO 17025, which certifies all dairy products, test results for the export market. The accreditation facilitates trade in dairy products and reduces the cost of doing business to make the country's dairy products competitive. The committee concludes that rationalization of DDA will affect the regulatory gains already achieved and may adversely affect the markets, both secured and prospective. Mainstreaming DDA will jeopardize the ongoing process of recognition and accreditation that are critical for market access. Rationalization will negatively affect the planned infrastructure development of the milk value chain. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, on the wage bill of DDA, DDA has an approved staff establishment of 140 positions, but 91 positions are filled. All the staff are on contract. 63% of DDA staff are scientists, earning less than the approved government science scale. The certificate of financial implications provides that only 10 staff, that is 11%, will be laid off, though it is not clear whether the remaining 81 staff, that is 89%, will be moved to the agency functions, will be moved with the agency functions to MAIF. The CFI puts the total cost in terminal benefits for the laid-off staff at Uganda shillings 0.53 billion. The CFI has estimated net savings amounting Uganda shillings 11.02 billion in financial year 2024-2025 and 11.5 billion in the subsequent financial years as a result of rationalization. Right Honorable Speaker, compared to the projected budget for financial year 2024-2025, which stands at 18.616 billion, 6.16 billion will be required to facilitate functions of DDA under MAIF. The savings on the rationalization are unrealistic because, for instance, the entire wage is considered as a saving, yet 89% of the staff will be retained and thus have to be paid wage. Furthermore, other savings such as physical assets that will be relieved have not been reported on. The committee notes that rationalizing DDA will not lead to the anticipated savings as stated by the certificate for financial implication. Furthermore, noting that 63% of DDA staff are scientists who will be on high science salary scale upon joining the ministry, this will instead increase the wage bill rather than savings. On value of dairy products, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, Uganda processes several dairy products which are exported to various countries. In financial year 2022-2023, milk powder was the most exported product, accounting for about 54.2% of the total exports, followed by UHT milk at 33.1%. The table below shows the distribution of dairy export by product and value during financial year 2022-2023. It is there displayed for members to see. Right Honorable Speaker, Table 2 shows the distribution of dairy export by destination in financial year 2022-2023, country value in Uganda shillings, and the products that we export to those countries. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee notes that with the intervention of DDA, the dairy industry was able to access international markets as a result of quality assurance and certified dairy products. Right Honorable Speaker, on privatization of the dairy industry, the committee noted that when government divested dairy corporation, the private sector was given full responsibility to collect, transport, market, and process milk. This requires robust, efficient, and effective regulatory framework, which has been created on the premise of the Dairy Industry Act 1998, which is being implemented by DDA. The dairy industry has attracted many investors, both local and foreign, who receive timely responses to the challenges they may be experiencing. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the committee observed that rationalization of DDA would compromise quality assurance and safety. The private sector is largely profit-oriented, and puts less attention to consumer protection of quality and safety. Without a specialized agency, the quality of dairy products will be compromised. The committee further observed that over the years, the country has witnessed rejection of other food exports directly under the ministry. However, due to hands-on interventions by DDA that built a robust regulatory framework, this country has never experienced rejection of dairy products on the international market, and this is attributed to the hard work and commitment by DDA. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, DDA staff work 24 hours to ensure that the final consumer enjoys safe and quality dairy products. This will be impossible when DDA is mainstream. Right Honorable Speaker, on the agency model for the dairy industry, the committee noted that the world over, the dairy subsector is regulated by autonomous entities as illustrated in the table that is below. Kenya has it, Tanzania, Israel, and these are, Right Honorable Speaker, these are the countries who are the main buyers of the milk and the products from Uganda, based on the fact that there's a specific regulatory body to ensure compliance of dairy standards and regulations along the value chain, including milk production, collection, transportation, marketing, processing, and milk consumption advocacy, among others. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, in conclusion, the committee opines that export of milk and milk products requires observance of safety and quality standards and regulations along the dairy value chain. It is also important to note milk is a perishable product, and it is mainly driven by smallholder farmers, input and service providers, milk collectors, milk bulkers, transporters, traders, and processors, among others. DDA carries out activities which are geared towards achieving middle income status as envisioned in Vision 2024, where dairy was prioritized as a strategic commodity to realize the country's agro-industrialization program. Therefore, rationalizing DDA will erode the above achievements and lead to the loss of livelihoods for the people. Owing to the fact that the justification for rationalization of government agencies does not apply to DDA, the committee recommends that the Dairy Industry Amendment Bill 2024 is not passed by this House. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I beg to submit.
I can see all the milk takers. NADS. Next. Honorable members, the items that we are looking at are all related. Let's go to NADS now. Move a motion on NADS. Move a motion on NADS. Honorable Minister, move a motion on NADS.
There's NADS. I'm going to read NADS. I read NADS first. Okay, let me read cotton. Okay, all of them.
Honorable members, we'll come back bill by bill. If you want to debate, we will debate. You say I'm debating on milk, on tea, on cotton, on nuts, coffee.
Bill second reading, the Cotton Development Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Cotton Development Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time.
Is the motion seconded? Seconded by Achon, by Linda, by Alaino, by Naboth, by by Felix, by Derek, by Honorable Chivumbi, Frank, Christine, by Oima, by Xavier, Shema, Karamoja, Moroto, by Jennifer, by Arua, Nathan, Science and Technology, by Pastor, by Ojok, by Foreman NFA, by Sise Namuju, and by Wilson, by Kakumiro, and Yona, Nakawa, Oima, Masaka, Sabakristo, Isodo, Emmanuel. Would you want to speak to your Cotton Development Authority? Cotton.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Alanyo, I was told your uniform is made out of cotton.
Madam Speaker, the cotton industry now contributes more than 900 million US dollars to our economy. And we are importing goods and products of cotton worth over 1 billion US dollars. This sector needs to be strengthened, and government is of the view that the Cotton Development Authority be mainstreamed into the ministry to bring that efficiency and effectiveness that all of us desire. This is the purpose of this bill, and this is the move that we think that, honorable colleagues, you should support this direction so that we can strengthen the sector. I beg to move.
Honorable members, I'm told some MPs are up in the canteen. Please come down. Honorable Commissioner, I need the MPs. Chair, can you? Don't over summarize the way the minister was telling you.
It's bad.
You read it.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on the Cotton Development Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay. Right Honorable Speaker, in the same vein, I beg to lay the minutes of the committee while considering the Cotton Development Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
Right Honorable Speaker, the Cotton Development Amendment Bill was read for the first time on 4th April 2024 and referred to the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries in accordance with Rule 1291 of the Rules of Procedure, and the committee now reports. The background to the Cotton Development Amendment Bill is the same as the other bills of the RAPEX, some of which we have already gone through, and I wouldn't want to go through the background to rationalization. Right Honorable Speaker, the Cotton Development Organization was established by the Cotton Development Act, CAP 30. It is a statutory body responsible for the promotion of cotton, as well as the monitoring of the production, marketing, and processing of cotton in Uganda. The CDO carries out ginnery inspections and certifications and gives guidance to farmers and ginners on seed cotton and lint quality, as well as on packaging requirements as provided by the Cotton Development Act Cap 30. Cotton is the third most important cash crop for Uganda after coffee and tea, and is grown in 72 districts of the country. It is a raw material from which a number of products are derived, including uniform for our men in uniform, women in uniform, Uganda Wildlife Authority, UPDF, police, and prisons, and other security agencies. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, in Uganda, the key products and textiles and garments are textiles and garments, edible oil, seed cake for livestock feed, soap and cotton wool for medical purposes, and even masks. Cotton, therefore contributes to industrialization of the country through factories such as ginneries, textile mills, edible oil mills, soap factories, cotton wool manufacturing factories, among others. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, it is estimated that cotton subsector directly and indirectly employs 2.5 million people as farmers and farm workers, cotton seed buyers, transporters, ginnery workers, cotton exporters, textile and garment manufacturers, and oil millers. The CDO is mandated to promote production, monitoring, marketing, and processing of cotton, and represent all aspects of the cotton subsector. The CDO's activities contribute to 4 of the 6 agro-industrialization objectives, which are increasing agricultural production and productivity, improving post-harvest handling, improving agro-processing and value addition, and strengthening institutional coordination. The cotton subsector has major segments: production, research, ginning, marketing, quality and standards, and value addition. Cotton, having one of the longest agricultural commodity value chains, was identified as one of the strategic commodities under the NDP 3's agro-industrialization program among the 18 priority commodities for the country. Right Honorable Speaker, this bill, the justification for this bill raises 3 questions. Whether there are mandate overlaps between Uganda Cotton Development Organization and Ministry of Agriculture. Whether the Uganda Cotton Development Organization has served the purpose for which it was established. Whether the Uganda Cotton Development Organization cost of administration drained the treasury at the expense of service delivery. Committee observations on whether there are mandate overlaps between CDO and MAIF. The Cotton Development Organization was established in 1994 by an act of parliament to monitor production, processing, and marketing of cotton so as to enhance the quality of lint exported and locally sold, and to promote the distribution of high-quality cotton seed, and generally to facilitate the development of the cotton industry. CDO is mandated to set standards for Uganda seed cotton and lint against international standards as provided for by Section 5 of the Act. CDO is also a member of the International Cotton Association, Liverpool, and the Bremen Cotton Exchange for purposes of setting quality standards for Uganda's cotton, without which the cotton would not be traded in. Right Honorable Speaker, every 2 years, CDO presents its standards to these bodies. for approval and accreditation. The approved standards are used for trading Ugandan cotton on the international market. CDO is also responsible for determining the farm gate prices at the commencement of cotton market season based on the market price analysis. This function of setting the standards requires a specialized body accredited internationally. There is no gambling in this one, to be able to monitor the production, processing, and marketing of cotton and development of cotton industry. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the committee notes that in countries such as Kenya, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Malawi, which liberalize their cotton industry without setting up a regulator like CDO, the subsector has collapsed and cotton is no more in those countries. The committee observes that regulating on-farm and off-farm cotton activities is a function that requires full-time attention and presence by a specialized agency that is internationally accredited. Such a role is not duplicated anywhere in the mandates of MAIF or any other government agency. Accreditation can only be done by a body corporate. Thus, the need to maintain CDO. Whether CDO has served the purpose for which it was established, CDO is charged with monitoring the production, processing, and marketing of cotton in Uganda. It is also responsible for developing cotton planting seeds, and cotton planting seeds are the most difficult seeds among all the crops to process. It is not like maize where you get just a cob and you plant those seeds. This one is a process. So it is also responsible for developing cotton planting seeds and maintaining the quality of the seed through strict regulations. The entity, Right Honorable Speaker, has also put in place third-party GINERI monitoring systems to ensure that the quality of seed cotton entering the GINERI meets the requisite standards. Right Honorable Speaker, in order to ensure that the GINERIs comply with the standards, CDO has put in place a cotton classing laboratory and at Cotton House in Kampala, which is equipped with the 2 high-volume instruments, HVI testing machines for computerized fiber testing to carry manual classing of cotton lint, prepare fair average quality FAQ standards of cotton seed to guide GINERs during the marketing period, and to provide technical advice on cotton quality issues for the cotton stakeholders. Right Honorable Speaker, CDO is currently carrying out cotton seed development under the validation component, from which seeds are supplied to 13 oil millers. Cotton seeds are so unique, like I had said earlier, that are not easy to get on the market and are developed by specialized teams, not gamblers. This is a continuous activity, season after season. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the table below shows the contribution of cotton to the household incomes of farmers and foreign exchange earnings. Cotton contributes 14% to agricultural exports, as displayed in the table. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee observes that monitoring cotton production, processing, and marketing, plus quality controls, requires swiftness and high levels of efficiency, which can only be provided by a specialized and accredited agency like CDO. With the overwhelming demand of textile products in Uganda and abroad, the task ahead is so enormous that it requires empowering and supporting CDO to mobilize farmers to grow more cotton, quality assurance, consolidate and build on its achievements, mainstreaming CDO into MAIF will lead to failure to promote quality cotton and loss of market. And now that we are discouraging second-hand clothes, so it is better that we emphasize on this. Right Honorable Speaker, on whether the cotton Thank you, my Deputy Chair, for doing a service to a sister. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the other question is whether CDO's costs of administration drain the treasury at the expense of service delivery. Cotton remains an important cash crop in Uganda, ranked third after coffee and tea. It is the main source of income for about 250,000 households who cultivate cotton under rain-fed conditions and with the minimal use of inputs such as fertilizers and chemicals. CDO over the year has painstakingly built the cotton quality system through rigorous training of staff and investment in cotton laboratories. Cotton runs a modern cotton classing laboratory with the internationally accredited cotton classers, which has resulted into the recognition of Ugandan cotton at the international market, where it fetches a premium price. Cotton, being a seasonal crop, requires timely supply of viable planting seed. CDO has maintained the quality of cotton planting seed through strict regulation of ginning and management of cotton seed. And when you go to the recently constructed processing facility in Pade district, you'll see what we are talking about. CDO staff have built expertise over time, Right Honorable Speaker, and currently a Ugandan who is a cotton classifier now serves on the International Cotton Association, Bremen Cotton Exchange, ICA Bremen Cotton Testing Laboratory Certification Committee. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, despite the above achievements, the government during the financial year 2023 allocated only 5.37 billion to the CDO. Sometimes allocation is 2 billion. The CDO has been an underfunded entity, yet over 250,000 households in Uganda survive on cotton. Besides the allocated funds and being a marginalized subsector, CDO was able to contribute 4.1 billion as NTR to the consolidated fund. The agency is mainly supported by private sector, and I don't know how private sector can accept to be merged under a government entity. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee notes that the certificate of financial implications provided by the Ministry of Finance only focuses on the savings calculated based on non-taxable revenues contributed by the sector, without valuing the technical advice and quality assurance provided by CDO. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, in conclusion, the committee is alive to the government's intentions to revive the cotton production value chain, investment in apparel for export and garment production in the country. The committee further appreciates the role played by CDO in promoting quality cotton production and market access. CDO is a member of international cotton standard bodies, the International Cotton Advisory Committee, the International Cotton Association, Liverpool and Bremen Cotton Exchange. To be a member of these cotton standard bodies, it is a requirement for a country to have a cotton regulatory body for purposes of standards enforcement. Without a cotton regulatory body, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, it will be difficult to sell Ugandan cotton on the international market at a premium price. The committee therefore notes that the justification to rationalize the Cotton Development Organization is not tenable and not good for the economy, and recommends that the bill entitled the Cotton Development Amendment Bill 2024 should not be passed, and this is also in line with the ad hoc committee report. Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members, I beg to report.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Chair. Next.
Bill second reading, the National Agricultural Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024.
Yes. Honourable Minister, can you move a motion?
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that
Honourable members.
the bill entitled the National Agriculture Advisory Services.
Honourable members, listen. If you want to achieve what you want, you first listen.
Madam Speaker,
We are now on food security.
I'm moving that the bill entitled the National Agriculture Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024 be read a second time.
Is the motion seconded? Is the motion seconded? Rukungiri, is the motion seconded? Honorable Migu Mbwa, is the... I am saying is the motion seconded? Is seconded by the whole House. Would you want to speak to your motion?
Madam Speaker, as we have stated in the bills to rationalize and mainstream, this particular bill is aimed at streamlining the services of the NADs into the ministry. Colleagues, it's important to note that we are not taking away the roles and responsibilities of giving advice to our farmers. They remain. What we are trying to do is to combine and merge the administration costs so that we can provide services in a more effective and efficient manner. Colleagues, it's important that we listen to this argument. We already have extension services under the Ministry of Agriculture. So our extension staff are already in every sub-counties. We have a research department under the ministry. So bringing these NADs in the ministry, working together.
Honorable Minister, you continue. Don't allow this disrupt us.
Working together with the Extension Services Department, the Research and Development Department, and then the advisory services will actually offer better services to the country. And I know that your secondment of this motion was actually in support of mainstreaming these services. I beg to move.
Honorable Minister, since you're even given full powers, you're supposed to have given us our seeds during this season. Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members. I beg to lay on table the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, or the National Agricultural Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
In the same vein, I would like to lay on table the minutes of the committee meetings while considering the National Agriculture Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay.
Please lay.
Right Honorable Speaker, I now beg to present the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on the National Agricultural Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024. Right Honorable Speaker, this bill was also tabled read for the first time on the 4th of April and referred to the committee. And the committee now reports. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the National Agricultural Advisory Services, NADS, was established by the National Agricultural Advisory Services Act 2001. The mandate of NADS focuses on the following strategic objectives to contribute to agro-industrialization program, to increase access to critical...
Procedure matter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this is one of the bills we have truly interested ourselves in, and we have read this report very well. I was just wondering if the chair could just give us the observation and recommendation, because members we have really read this report. Thank you.
No problem. Chair, summarize.
Thank you very much, honorable colleagues, for that positive gesture. I now go straight to committee findings and observations. And of course, like I had earlier on said with the other bills, the justification for this bill also raises questions. And those are the questions that the committee made observations on and now makes recommendations. Right Honorable Speaker, NADS was established by National Agricultural Advisory Services Act. Sections 5 and 6 of the Act empower the organization to promote food security, nutrition, and household incomes, provide agricultural advisory services, support technical development and linkages with the farmers, among other duties. Right Honorable Speaker, distribution of inputs for major food crops like maize, I repeat, like maize, beans, bananas, and all the rest that are lined up have been the role of NADS. And this has led to increased agricultural production and productivity and promoted food security. The committee notes that cash crops like tea and cocoa, which have no regulatory agency, are being promoted by NADS. As a result of NADS interventions, production in the tea sector has steadily increased, with the country producing 81,675 metric tons of tea in 2022, worth Uganda shillings 88.36 million US dollars, in comparison to 50,055 tons produced in 2017. Right Honorable Speaker, since members are very fast readers and they have read all those figures, I want to go straight to the observations. The committee observes that NADS has critical ongoing projects which are aligned with government priorities, like increasing household incomes, import substitution, poverty eradication, and market access. NADS has contributed to transformation of households from the subsistence economy from 68% to 39%. And these are figures from UBOS Statistical Abstract 2022 and MAIF Statistical Abstract 2023. Rationalization of NADS will lead to a reversal of the achievements attained so far. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee also notes that Uganda has achieved relative food security and has become the food basket for the East African region through the efforts of NADS. About 40.1% of households have achieved a balanced diet, and 45% consume 3 meals per day, an increase from 40% in 2015. Rationalization of NADS will lead to reversal of the food security gains, and it is the only entity that has been managing food security interventions. Right Honorable Speaker, on whether NADS has served the purpose for which it was established, the committee noted that increased production of high-value crops has stimulated establishment of processing facilities. For instance, 5 foreign investors have established avocado processing factories in Manamamve, Buikwe, Nakaseke, Kasese, and Chenjojo. The handling of the avocado produce has improved through these investors who are able to utilize and add value to all the avocado produced in Uganda and generate more export earnings under the guidance of NADS. Right Honorable Speaker, ensuring food security is a key constitutional responsibility of the Ministry of Agriculture that NADS is better placed to deliver as a frontline agency of the ministry. Secondly, this is an ongoing and not a term responsibility that needs to be maintained. NADS has become the face of the MAIF with the farmers throughout the country, and it has become the household name in most of the families. The committee does not believe that MAIF can substitute NADS on food security and perform in this endeavor. On whether the NADS administration costs are so high that they drain the treasury and the expense of service delivery, the committee notes that they claim savings are more than the projected budget for financial year 2024-2025 by Uganda shillings 67.88 billion. This is unbelievable, as NADS has been allocated only 35.5 billion in financial year 2024-2025. And this is the analysis of the certificate of financial implication for NADS. The committee also notes that although NADS does not collect NTR, it is an important player in the agricultural value chain, which is the mainstay of Uganda's economy. The current level of GDP and export growth and employment creation is majorly based on agricultural production that NADS has helped to grow and to sustain. It would be reckless to mainstream NADS into MAIF and risk this gain. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, in conclusion, the pivotal role played by NADS in filling the gaps in the agricultural sector and providing demand-driven services in line with modern agricultural trends and global market demands cannot be overemphasized. This calls for strengthening of the institution rather than mainstreaming it into the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry, and Fisheries. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the committee therefore recommends that the National Agricultural Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024 for purposes of food security validation should not be passed. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I beg to report.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. We go to the last one.
Bill's second reading, the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024 be read a second time.
Thank you. Would you seconded? Is the bill seconded? Is it seconded? Seconded. Honorable members, we are seconding the bill, the motion to the bill to be read for the second time. Now, the minister, would you substantiate? By the whole house has seconded. Substantiate.
Madam Speaker, in 1986,
Honorable Minister, before you come in, I have some young stars up there in the public gallery. They are students and teachers from King Norton International School located in Wakiso. They are represented in Parliament by Honorable Lubega Medad Seguna and Honorable Naluima Ethel. You're most welcome. First stand up and we see you. Stand up. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Yes. Thank you so much for coming. You're welcome. Please have a seat. Yes, Honorable Minister. Is the chairperson of gender here? Where? Deputy. Okay, come.
Madam Speaker, in justification for this bill, in 1986, our country was exporting 4.5 million bags of coffee. As we speak, because of the good programs and support that we have given this sector, we are now producing more than 20 million bags of coffee. The same government that has been able to put in place this support and effort support the coffee sector is the same government that has realized some gaps that we have in this sector. And we think that the gaps that we have in the sector are mainly to do with research and development, cross supervision, can be cured by mainstreaming the Coffee Development Authority into the ministry. I can appreciate the mood in the House that, and I play that, Madam Speaker, I play that you will give an opportunity, this important bill, to reach the third stage so that you can appreciate the amendments that we are bringing forth. If we put the Coffee Development Authority under the ministry, will be supported more in terms of research and development, will support the vision of growing the exports of our country. In my opinion and the opinion of government, will actually not affect the roles and responsibilities of Uganda Development Coffee Authority. It will only look at the administration. So, honorable colleagues and Madam Speaker, I recommend that this bill will be given an opportunity to reach the third stage. I thank you.
Thank you. We have not started debate. We have not started debate. Chair, give us a summary.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries on the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay. Right Honourable Speaker, in the same vein, I beg to lay the minutes of the meetings of the Committee on Agriculture while considering the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024. I beg to lay. Right Honourable Speaker, I now beg to present the report of the Committee on the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024. Right Honourable Speaker, this bill was also read for the first time on the 4th of April and referred to the committee. Right Honourable Speaker, Uganda Coffee Development Authority, UCDA, is a statutory body established in 1991 by the Uganda Development Authority Act, CAP 325, which repealed and was replaced by the National Coffee Act number 17 of 2021. It was formed following the coffee subsector reforms and market liberalization program in 1990, which resulted into the separation of the regulatory and trading functions and the monopoly in the export of coffee that existed then. Right Honourable Speaker, the Minister has already been given the object and justification for the bill, but the justification, Right Honourable Speaker, raises some questions on whether the mandate overlaps between UCDA and MAIF exists, and whether UCDA has served the purpose for which it was established, and whether Uganda Coffee Development Authority's costs of administration drain the treasury at the expense of service delivery. Right Honourable Speaker, in consideration of this bill, the committee met those ministries, did documentary review of those documents, and the committee received a long list of 28 written submissions from those entities. Uganda Cultural and Development Foundation, honorable colleagues, you can read them, they are there. Obukama Bwabu Nyoro Kitara and others. All these, Right Honourable Speaker, wrote their written submissions to make a case for UCDA not to be merged. And all these are value chain actors in the coffee subsector. Committee findings and observations. The committee established that UCDA derives its mandate from the National Coffee Act. That was 2021. Under sections 4 and 5, the functions of UCDA are to regulate all on-farm and off-farm activities in the coffee value chain, promote and oversee the quality of coffee along the value chain, support research and development, promote production, and improve the marketing of coffee to optimize earnings for coffee stakeholders in the country. Right Honourable Speaker and honourable colleagues, the committee notes that UCDA plays a pivotal role in overseeing coffee quality to ensure compliance with the export contracts and international food safety standards. Right Honourable Speaker, the committee notes that in order to sustain the European markets that constitute 60% of the Ugandan coffee sales.
Proceed, yeah.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, we have read the bill. We are well versed with what is in the report.
You have read the report?
We've read the report. We are well versed with what is in the report. We would only request that for purposes of saving time, we go to observations and conclusions, and we... Right Honourable Speaker, you read the mood of the House?
No, I've not read anything. I've not read anything.
Okay, Right Honourable Speaker.
Me, I'm ready to put a question.
That is very good. So Right Honourable Speaker, my procedural matter is basically to...
Yes, or to summarize.
Yes, I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Right Honourable Speaker, now I can over-summarize. Judging from the mood of the House, the committee concluded that there is no duplication of UCDA's mandate with MAI for any government agency. The committee observes that coffee sector is an important export earner that should be independently regulated to meet the demands of the export market. The civil service mode of operation and service delivery cannot efficiently undertake and deliver this mandate. It is important to note that UCDA has increased the production volumes of coffee from 3.5 million 60 kilogram bags in 2014-15 to 8.06 million 60 kilogram bags currently, and with a medium-term target of 20 million bags by 2019-2030. Merging the mandate and abolishing it risk derailing this very critical target. Right Honourable Speaker, on whether UCDA has served the purpose for which it was established, the committee notes that government is committed to achieving a target of producing 20 million bags by 2030, and this was under the coffee roadmap, which was launched by His Excellency the President in 2017. And it is being coordinated by Dr. Suruma, the former Minister of Agriculture. So UCDA has distributed seedlings, and this is likely to increase production as the country looks towards achieving the coffee roadmap. Right Honourable Speaker, Vietnam learned about coffee from us, but because of their robust arrangements of not moving forward and backward, they achieved what we intend to achieve in 2013 in 2015. Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members, Figure 1 shows the trend of coffee export volumes and value from 2004 to 2023 in $1 million. Right Honourable Speaker, on quality assurance, the committee observes that coffee quality control requires swiftness. There is no postponement, and high levels of efficiency, which is best provided under the agency model. The committee also observes that despite the commendable achievements by UCDA, the task ahead is enormous and requires empowering and supporting UCDA to sustain, consolidate, and build on its achievements. Mainstreaming UCDA risks failure to promote quality coffee, affects research efforts, and may lead to market information asymmetry. It will also jeopardize critical functions, leading to adverse effects on Uganda coffee exports and global competitiveness. According to the organogram provided by Ministry of Public Service, coffee is supposed to go under a division under the Department for Agricultural Production. Right Honourable Speaker, the committee concludes that the mandate of UCDA is never ending. Areas like Karamoja have just been brought on board and other parts of the country. and it promotes one of our key export earners that has a multiplier effect throughout the economy, creating jobs, supporting livelihoods, and resulting into economic growth and development. This mandate is better served by the agency model of coffee development in line with other coffee exporting countries. The committee notes that the experience of Kenya and Ethiopia on rationalization resulted in reduced coffee production on exports, and these countries have now adopted the agency model, such as UCDA. Uganda is the 7th largest coffee producer globally and is ranked 3rd in terms of quality coffee. In Africa, Uganda stands 2nd in coffee production and the 1st in exports in Africa. With the proposed rationalization of UCDA, Uganda risks losing these gains due to red tape and bureaucracies. On whether UCDA cost of administration drains the treasury at the expense of service delivery, Table 1 shows the non-tax revenue collections by UCDA for the last 5 years. And Right Honorable Speaker, the budget estimates for financial year 2024 put UCDA budget at 44.76 billion. The certificate of financial implication indicates the net saving as a result of rationalization will amount to 82.19 billion in financial year 2024-2025, which will be 38.54 billion more than the projected budget. The committee therefore notes that the CFI on coffee is inaccurate. The savings claim will not be realized as indicated in the certificate of financial implication. Right Honorable Speaker, I have already talked about the coffee roadmap. It was next, where we intend to achieve 20 million bags of 60 kilogram bags of coffee by 2030. And the country is not about to retract from the coffee roadmap unless maybe the House will be informed about any new developments about that. Right Honorable Speaker, on comparative analysis with other top coffee producing countries, the committee observed that in all successful coffee producing countries, coffee is regulated by specialized agency. The agency model has proven to be efficient in most coffee producing countries in the world. And when you go to the next table, Right Honorable Speaker, table 2, shows countries with the specialized agency model for coffee, including the #1 coffee exporting country and producer and exporter, which is Brazil, even Vietnam, which is now #2 globally. So those are the statistics, Right Honorable Speaker, of the success of the agency model in the countries that are coffee growing. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee therefore notes that to achieve increased coffee production, promote quality assurance, and exploit market opportunities, the government needs to empower UCDA to remain a semi-autonomous agency to promote coffee production and marketing. Right Honorable Speaker, recently the AU declared coffee a crop for the continent, and we are the pearl of Africa. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, the committee is alive to the need for a comprehensive and responsive law that addresses production, processing, storage, and sale of all cash crops in the country. The committee further appreciates the role of UCDA as played in promoting good quality coffee and opening up markets that have helped farmers to get better prices. Mainstreaming into the civil service will negatively affect the achievements Uganda has attained in quality coffee production and export and access to international market, thus stunting economic growth and development. UCDA has invested heavily in coffee quality assurance, the reason Uganda has displaced other countries in the global markets. Coffee quality control requires swiftness. Uganda's coffee processing engineers, not just an engineer, are currently deployed to monitor quality compliance of 506 primary processors, 22 washing stations, 23 roasters, 704 buying stores, and 37 export grading stores on a day-to-day basis. Any delays in the enforcement of quality standards with any of the value chain actors will negatively affect the quality of coffee and Uganda's competitiveness on the market. Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the committee therefore recommends that the bill entitled the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024 should not be passed by this House. I beg to report.
Honorable Chair, thank you so much for the report. Reports, not report. And honorable members, thank you. I just want to hear something from the minister who was in charge of RAPEX. What was the basis of rationalizing those 4 entities? Let's first hear from him, because you know, this did not come from the president. It came from the minister responsible, and the minister advised the president, and that was the basis. That's how it went to cabinet. So I want to hear from the RAPEX minister.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I don't want to.
Secretary General.
I am a Secretary General of the Patriotic League of Uganda. Right, Honorable Speaker. I don't want to debate now, but I just want you to forgive the minister, and also on my behalf and on behalf of all the patriots. Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to implore and also request the minister, because yesterday I heard him say that some members have been bribed by some entities, that we have been immobilized. I want to request you, Honorable Minister, in some cases you go with a win-win situation. There are some areas where you have won, in other areas where you lose, you accept to lose. Like this one, you can read the mood. Don't go to the president and blackmail parliament, blackmail the speaker, blackmail fellow ministers that they have failed to defend this. You can see even yourself, it is not easy to defend this. Accept to lose this, as we have also accepted that you win in some areas. Because we have mainstreamed some agencies, accept that UCDA, Cotton, Direct Cooperation, NADS, stay, accept to lose this one. I beg to submit.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker.
You know the worst thing is when you lead a house where members are predictable. Now, like what Honorable Okabanda said, you are reading the House advisors.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, indeed I've been in the House I have read, heard, and seen. But, Right Honorable Speaker, I think in line with our democratic process and the right ushered in, of course, by the NRM government, and the right to be heard, and also to maybe put the other alternative, I think it's in order that for me I say something. Briefly, I'm a person of very few words, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm not going to take a lot of time, such that
By the way, Honorable Minister, I'm not saying you withdraw the bill. I'm not saying you withdraw.
That's right, you have not said it. And by the way, maybe to make my stand quite clear, that I'm not in spite of the plea that has been given, to say let's withdraw or let's no. But just briefly listen to the other alternative, and then of course it's your prerogative and your right to take a decision. Right Honorable Speaker, one thing I think that is clear is that there has been a policy shift. That policy shift regarding all these agencies and so on, which has been codenamed RAPEX. This policy shift has actually been championed by government, arising from a long history of service delivery, which was recommended by the Public Service Review Commission way back, even before I came on the scene. And actually, many changes have taken place. And until we have reached this change, this moment where I've come in and championing some fresh look at agencies. And of course, for it to go full cycle, there will be other changes coming. So it's a policy shift. Indeed, we have had a very good report from the committee. However, what I think we should not lose focus of is that all these activities, all these functions, all these measures, international and local and so on, are not going to be lost. They are going to be preserved, they are going to be improved, and everything will be okay. Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, indeed, I'm summarizing.
Members, leave the minister to finish.
I'm summarizing. Yes, I'm summarizing. I have sat here, I have listened, and I think I've been very disciplined because I've not heckled. And I think, really, this August House, many times, really, most of the time, is not known for heckling. And it is also a very balanced house.
No, you're not going, you don't divert the members.
Yes, I'm not diverting.
Talk about your bills.
Yes, I'm not
How
diverting.
members heckle, shout, or whichever, I am the one to rule on that.
I was saying...
You bring your point.
My point is, and I've made it, that the functions are not going to be lost. The other point that I'd like to make, Right Honorable Speaker, is that indeed, under RAPEX, there are going to be substantial savings. And these savings certainly will be plowed back into a more robust service delivery. Right Honorable Speaker, when I now concentrate on NADS, this is an example of really a situation which has been overtaken by events. First of all, there are a number of policies that we have adopted. For instance, the PDM, we have adopted that. And that is, for most of its main shift, what it's going to do is actually going to do what NADS has been doing. Secondly, some of the achievements attributed to NADS, and if you look at the history of NADS, some of them, really, let's not forget that there have been other players as well, Right Honorable Speaker. There's the player that I note here in the committee report, a player known as Operation Wealth Creation. Yes, which to the main has actually assisted NADS. The same is true in some of the accomplishments which have been attributed to the Coffee Development Authority. And let's not forget, really, that Operation Wealth Creation, because of the discipline of its actors, has really played a very significant role. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, there seems to be some negative feeling that when there is mainstreaming, all the good skills, all the learning that we have achieved, which forms now a big repertoire and a strong foundation of our development, is going to disappear just because maybe a name like Development Authority, like NADS and so on has gone. But I might pause and say, what is in a name? That is a question in one of the Shakespearean texts. What is in a name? Yes. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, for me, I would like to implore the House that actually support these bills, let them pass. History will judge us. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Right,
And
Honorable
indeed,
Speaker.
history will judge us.
I have not heard from the minister, most especially where he blackmailed this institution, where he blackmailed you, Right Honorable Speaker, where he blackmailed fellow ministers himself, and he was on record. I want to request the Honorable Minister to come here and be on record, not to substantiate, but to withdraw that statement, because we are here on behalf of our people. I beg to submit.
Right Honorable Speaker, the word blackmail is very strong.
You know one thing, you can only substantiate but not withdraw what is not on the official record, but you can substantiate.
I am not a blackmailer. I have never been a blackmailer. I really take a lot of offense to be accused here in the House that I'm a blackmailer. And therefore, there is nothing to substantiate, there is nothing to withdraw. I have not blackmailed anybody, you see. And I wouldn't really, I don't take it kindly that a colleague would stand up here.
Honorable members,
thank you very much.
One thing is, our conscience is very clear. Everybody's conscience here is clear. Nobody has been bribed. Whatever you're doing here, you're doing it for and on behalf of your people. And whether people want to go blackmailing or whichever, saying somebody has been bribed, that's their business. For us, let's do what we ought to do. So, for me, the debate is open. Yes, there's a procedural matter.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Of course, I have a lot of sympathies with my very senior brother and friend, the Honorable Minister. To have bills you brought in good faith, finding themselves in that kind of unfortunate situation they are in right now, you have my sympathies. Of course, I appreciate the shift in government policy towards through RAPEX. And government has had lots of shifts in policy, but again, had reversals as a problem. Just like we run a private sector-led economy and then end up giving contracts on blue letters. We appreciate those challenges, Honourable Speaker. In the circumstances, Honourable Speaker,
these bills were not formed on blue letters. They were by acts of this parliament. And that's why they've come back to this parliament, either for a repeal, amendment. So remove the blue letters.
I appreciate Honourable Speaker. I was just trying to make a juxtaposition for the Honourable Minister to understand my misgivings about government policy and the policy reversals we have suffered over the years. But in the circumstances, would it be okay to save time and also save the Honourable Minister the pain of seeing the death, the demise of these bills at infancy, to ask the Speaker to call bill by bill and the vote is taken, that we don't have to waste so much time. If we agree to proceed, then we proceed and then save this House time to go to the next business. Right, Honourable Speaker, I beg to indulge in that move like that.
Is that supported? Okay. No, it has been supported already. We are going bill by bill. So sit. You have all seconded. Honorable Budu, welcome back. We are happy to have you back. And sorry for what happened to you. We continue standing by you, our good friend, Honorable Abudu Katuntu. Honorable members in the VIP gallery this afternoon, we have a delegation from SC Planter. They are led by the ambassador of Uganda to Japan and the ambassador, Honorable Kawa Tofas. Our very own, we miss you. And the delegation, we have Dr. Kim, who is the CEO of SC Planter. You're most welcome. You're in good hands when you're with our very own. We have Mr. Ian, the Chief Legal Officer. You're most welcome. We have Miss Hiromi, most welcome. That is, then we have Miss Masako, most welcome. They are here to observe the proceedings this afternoon. Most welcome. This is Parliament of Uganda and the people-centered parliament. Honorable members, as you've said, I am going to put a question, bill by bill, and for the second reading. If you want us to continue with the bill for the second reading, you say aye. And when we continue for the second reading, then we shall have defeated the committee report. Okay? But if you don't want us to continue, then you say what? Then it will stop there. And we will maintain the status quo. Honorable members, I am going to put a question. There are 4 motions. And just for a matter of clarity, if you're not in for the bill continuing, you say nay. If you're in for the bill to continue and be taken back to the ministry, you say aye. Are we together? Yes. Oh, you want to put up your hands? Yes. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, I put a question that honorable members, I put a question that the National Agricultural Advisory Services Amendment Bill 2024 be read a second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. Honorable members, unfortunately I had only one eye. The nays have it. Honorable members, I put a question that the Cotton Development Amendment Bill 2024 be read a second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The nays have it. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, I put a question that the National Coffee Amendments Bill 2024 be read the second time. Those in favor say unto the contrary, nay. The nays have it.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members.
Honorable Speaker, just a second.
Honorable members, I put a question that the Dairy Industry Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The nays have it.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to thank this House. But Right Honorable Speaker, I want to urge members of this House that the job we've done, there is a second leg. Let us ensure that in the budget process, these agencies are well resourced, that they have the monies allocated to do their mandate. We need coffee, we need cotton, we need dairy, and we need to play to the highest standards. And we urge all those committees where resources are. Let us find the resources. That is our role, and we ensure that these resources are in the budget and fully appropriated. I thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, first allow me, I guess on behalf of all the colleagues, to thank the honorable member, the chair of the committee, for a very wonderful report, well written. This is one of the best written reports I've seen in a long time in this House. I want to thank the committee members.
We had a necessary report.
No, I'm saying in this time, not our time. Not in the 10th Parliament, but Honorable Speaker. The clerk of that committee, I want to really appreciate the way the report was written and the members. Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, there is something I picked from the report which the chairperson hinted.
Wait, and I first tell you what I picked from the report. Why was the authority formed? What hasn't it done? And what needs to be corrected?
Thank you.
And if all reports would be like that we formed this authority, what is that we have not done, and what do we need to do to improve on what we have failed to do? Then we would be moving on the right direction. We shouldn't just come here omnibus, rationalization. Let's have a basis for it. You may not talk about the quantitative reason or analysis, but you need to look at it. What is that you have failed to do that you need to ought to have done?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for elucidating further on why I was appreciating the committee. That it was based on those points. The second one, which the Minister of Finance, I wish he could listen. I wish the Minister of Finance could listen, which was brought out from the committee regarding the certificate of financial implication, where you are saying you are going to save about 80 billion, yet the budget you have always provided for UCDA is 48 billion. How could you make such a mistake? You have been providing every year 48 billion, but you are saying you are going to save 80 billion. Would you like to elaborate and make us understand how that is possible? If not, apologize to this House for bringing a wrong document. Thank you.
Honorable members, can we hear from the sponsor first?
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Minister and the Minister of Agriculture, I would like to thank the House for passing the 2 bills. The agricultural
We have
chemical.
passed 6.
I was coming to that. For passing in favor of government position, the Agricultural Chemicals Control Amendment Bill 2024, and the other bill. Madam Speaker, on the 4 bills, the coffee, the cotton, nuts, and dairy, we take note that this parliament is a temple of democracy, and you have exercised your democratic right. We have a duty as government to go and dress these bills better. Hopefully, next time you look at them in a different eye. I thank you.
Honorable members, give, okay, Francis.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I also want to thank the chair of the committee for a good report, but I also want to thank the members for standing together for the good of this country. Right Honourable Speaker, we have done this because we are a voice of our people. For food security, for value addition, now we can go and mobilize them more so that then that is realized. I want to thank you.
Thank you so much. Honorable, you all want to talk about what has gone.
Thank you. Proceed.
Right Honourable Speaker, yes, I am not debating on this one, but Right Honourable Speaker, I want Honourable Bahati to come back here because the issue I raised about Honourable Muruli Mukasa, where some of these people, no, I'm not saying that he should come back and answer on behalf of Honourable Muruli Mukasa, but when you hear what he has said, he said, when we come back, maybe next time you support us. It means that they will go convince the president, blackmail us, that we have been bribed. I want him to come back on record, because here, Honorable Bahati, we are defending our people. We are not defending our interests.
Honorable members, the government has a right to come back if they think we've done something wrong. We also have a right to do what we have done again.
Madam Speaker, the Honorable Kawanda, the first-term member of Parliament, maybe has not learned this particular one. Listen, maybe the Honorable Kawanda, as you have said, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, listen.
As you have said.
Honorable members, what the excitement?
We cannot blackmail
Let me tell you.
We do not have that capacity.
Just a minute. You're full of excitement. If I ask any of you, who has just one tray of coffee? So, if you have them, then keep quiet and listen to what they are saying. That will help your coffee. Yes.
I said we cannot blackmail Parliament, but the executive has the right to bring any matter to the House, and the House has the right to take any decision about the matter brought by the executive. So, Honorable Kawanda, there is no contradiction, and I thank you for all the decisions I've taken.
Thank you so much, honorable members and the honorable ministers. I want to thank you. Of course, there is a give and take. And can we go to the next bills? Let's just have the next for gender. Then We have lunch.
Bill second reading. The children.
Honorable members, stop. Now you've started getting out. Sise.
The Children Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister, can you move the motion?
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Children Amendment Bill 2024 be read a second time.
Seconded. Is the motion seconded by Isaac Silwanyi, Honorable Minister O.O. Sanoni, Dorcas, Honorable Katuntu, even when you're seated. The bill is seconded. Would you love to speak to it?
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker and members. Honorable Speaker, this bill was enacted as an act in 2016. Since that time, the board has never been appointed. We've had technical team that has been take caring the authority. The proposition is to dissolve the authority and mainstream the function in the ministry, and the ministry as a department fully functional that handles issues related to children. And since it has not been functional since its enactment, and the ministry under the Department of Children has been able to manage efficiently and coordinate all the mandates, we support that it be mainstream in the ministry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. Could you give us a brief report to that? We are mainstreaming.
Thanks very much,
to
Right
the
Honorable Speaker.
main ministry.
Right Honorable Speaker, I've been requested by my chair to represent her, who is on other duties. I think you are aware. And Right Honorable Speaker, I'm here to present the report on the Committee of Gender, Labor and Social Development on Children's Amendment Bill 2024. But before I proceed, Chair, allow me and I beg to lay on table the minutes and the report. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm tabling the report on the Committee of Gender, Labor and Social Development on the Children's Amendment Bill 2024. I will try to be brief, but I need to give the introduction. The Children's Amendment Bill was read for the first time on 1st April 2024 and referred to our committee and did its service. The background of the bill, Right Honorable Speaker, is the same as other bills that we have funded. It's about rationalization of the government agencies. The legal framework of the National Children's Authority, Right Honorable Speaker, I need to give it so that members can know where it came from. The Constitution provides under Article 34 for the rights of child and provides for the children's rights to health, right to education, and the right to protection from exploitation. The Children's Act, Cap 59, is the primary law on the children's matters that puts into effect the Constitution provisions. Right Honorable Speaker, African Charter on the Rights and the Welfare of the African Child, other relevant laws and policies on children's matters include the Penal Code Act, Cap 120, the Employment Act 2006, the Computer Misuse Act 2011, the Anti-Pornography Act 2014, and the Prevention of Trafficking of Persons Act 2009. Right, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I will not go to the methodology which you have already read and the documents reviewed. Let me go to the rationale for the dissolution of the National Children's Authority.
Government has put forward the following argument to justify the rationalization of government agencies, including restructuring, reorganizing, realigning of the public service structures, the removal of duplication of roles between the Department of Children Affairs and the Ministry, and to reduce wastage of public funds. That is the government side. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the implication of dissolving the National Children's Authority is important to be forwarded. During the interaction with the National Children's Authority, the committee was informed that the proposal to dissolve the authority would have the following negative implication for the persons presented hereby. Increase in the case of children's rights violation. Children, by virtue of their age, are vulnerable to issues like child trafficking, sexual harassment, child labor, child sacrifice, child marriages, teenager pregnancies, etc. For instance, the National Labor Survey of 2020 indicated that 6 million children are trapped in child labor, and street children are more than 10,000, according to the National Child Policy 2020. And the National Children's Authority has been put at the forefront for addressing the issues. Therefore, the issues at hand are likely to escalate due to the gap that is going to be created by the abolition of the authority. Lack of political will to protect the children. The bill is silent about government's commitment to supporting children's rights affairs and protection of children from exploitation and manifest vulnerability. There is a capacity challenge already, which is danger in the Department of Children in the ministry, has failed to address the affairs of children challenges sufficiently. Potential effects on compliance to the international instruments. The abolition of the authority will be a setback to the effects of Uganda in complying with its obligation as a signatory to the international instruments country, and yet Uganda is leading example for other countries to benchmark on the best practices. Such international instruments include the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, 1989, the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, 1990. For instance, Article 120 of the East African Community Child Policy tasks partner states that include Uganda to make sure that children are given maximum protection due to their vulnerability. Loss of jobs and further marginalization. These are observations of the committee. The bill, in the relevant clauses, states that staff of the councils may be redeployed subject to the availability of the positions. This implies that some people may lose their jobs if no positions are available. Hence, further marginalization of persons of those groups currently employed. The committee notes that the transition process of the employees who may lose jobs is unclear and non-committal. Lack of an independent structure to provide checks and balances on the Ministry of Children's Affairs. The authority was providing research, guidance, checks and balances to ensure effectiveness in tackling the challenges faced by the children. Therefore, there would be lack of scrutiny of gaps in service delivery on matters of children. With the dissolution of the authority, the country will lose an intermediary for marginalized and vulnerable groups of children who are being left out during the service delivery by the ministry. Committee observations and recommendations, Right Honorable Speaker. 1. Inadequate consultation of stakeholders. The councils and the National Children's Authority, who are the key stakeholders, were not consulted on the rationalization process, although the Commissioner, Equity and Compliance represented the Minister on the working group. Recommendations. The Minister of Public Service should in future carry out adequate consultation with all the relevant stakeholders, especially with the implementation structures prior to formulation of the bill. And honorable members, we have already foreseen that. Most of the committees were complaining, and that's why some ministers could not come because they failed to convince the committees. Dissolving of the National Children's Authority. Clause 4 of the bill dissolves the National Children's Authority with its board, and Secretariat as established under Section 9A of the Children's Act, CAP 59, thereby creating a gap in the specific monitoring and supervision of implementation of policies for safeguarding children as a unique special interest group. Children as a unique special interest group. Recommendation. The committee recommends strongly that there is great need to have an independent body responsible for the protection for children's rights, notwithstanding the intended resolution of the National Children's Authority. In fact, it is using a polite language that maintain the same. So deletion of clause 10.3, which the minister has already accepted that the board, ever since it was created, it was not appointed, neither did it function. The committee recommends that when we reach the committee stage, 10.3 should be deleted because it is redundant. In conclusion, Honourable Speaker, notwithstanding government's decision to rationalize government agencies, and that includes the National Children's Authority, the committee strongly argues that the children being of tender age, they are vulnerable to exploitation. The issues of children should be given urgent and special attention. The ad hoc committee that was set up by Parliament to discuss the issue of rationalization and recommended that agencies in the social development sector should not be rationalized. With the abolition of the authority, there will be a no-independent government agency on children related to matters, and therefore a big gap in the role of policy information, consultation, efficiency, protection of children's rights in Uganda. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Honourable members, you've heard the issue of the children. The bill which is before us on the Children's Amendments Bill 2024. Honourable Minister, you've heard what the chair said, that he should maintain the act as it is. Is that agreeable with you?
Right Honourable Speaker, what is in the report of the committee is agreeing with the position of government in the amendment. Because I have the report.
What is the position of government?
That the authority is dissolved and the function
is taken to the mainstream.
Yes,
and the department.
Yes, under of children. The only difference with the committee is there are certain functions like registration of children where they are moving it to national registration.
You know, the report is in agreement with the government position. But now the former minister brought in personal feelings. You brought in personal feelings. Honorable members, what government is saying, let's take this sector to avoid a lot of having institutions. You are the ones who are saying we should have a lean government. And in the process of having a lean one, let's take it back to the ministry. And when we have it in the ministry, we have a department of children. We have a department of youth, a department of women. What's wrong with that? We shall be reducing costs. Harriet.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Members, for me personally, I have no problem with the report of the committee. And personally, I support the take that they create for them a department and we streamline there. It is okay, it has no issues, because it does not counter the protection of the rights of children. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the rights of children in every country is a mandate. of the state to make...
Honorable members, we have a Minister of Children and gender, not so? So what is the problem? Why wouldn't we take these children to the minister? Yes.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. The information I've got from the minister in charge of gender is that this authority has not been working because the board has not been getting funds. Therefore, it doesn't even have a board at the moment, which means it has not been working. And in the ministry, they have a department in charge of children. And the minister has been supervising that department. So I think there is no problem having this or the functions taken to the ministry. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to agree with the committee report because already the ministry has structures.
Okay.
The ministry already has structures. And one of its mandate is to work for the welfare of the children. I therefore want to agree with the committee report that let the children and other sectors be taken back to the ministry so that they can streamline well and work well for the children of this country.
Santa, hey, there's a Frank.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, while the committee concludes, it puts forward that whereas there is interest in government rationalization, but the children of this country, Uganda, have to have an independent body that will keep in check this government. Right Honorable Speaker, the issues of the children or the generation that we want to create for this country that will come after us and before or after our grandchildren, they need to see that at least this government or this parliament stood firm for the authority that was there to look onto government to see that it does what it has to do. Right Honorable Speaker, the authority informed us that they have never been given a budget to run anything. What they receive is just for the wages and some few administrative costs, meaning it might be intended by this government to keep the authority redundant, and later on they come and
so what is your position?
Our position is that we retain the authority as it will give advice and will keep government in check.
Should we take the Minister of Children also to the authority?
No. Right Honorable Speaker, the ministry or the Minister for Education for the children and the young people in Uganda is there to see how these agencies work. He is supposed to guide on the operations, but these people have not been having the board to do their work.
Will it cause any harm if you took this department into gender and be under the Minister of the Children?
Yeah,
will it cause any harm?
Right Honorable Speaker, the reasons that government gave for rationalization was to cut administrative costs.
Actually, we shall have cut it.
No, we are not cutting anything because, Right Honorable Speaker, this agency has been receiving 325 million every year to cater for only the rent and other things like wages. They have not received any money to carry out any activity in line with looking for our children or looking for how our children can be better served in the country. It is better that we just look on how we can operationalize these agencies than putting them under the ministry where they will not serve the purpose of which they were created.
Samuel, I wish you people would program your minds in a way that agriculture did, that did it serve the purpose, And if it didn't serve the purpose, why don't you go back where it was? Yes, Samuel?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to agree with the committee that now that we have a minister in charge of children affairs, and we are moving this to the ministry, and the same issue of the children will be taken care of by the ministry. It will be prudent that we move the agency as a department under the ministry to save costs.
Thank you. A motion.
Thank you so
There
much.
is a motion.
Thank you,
Thank
Right
you so
Honorable
much.
Speaker.
Thank you so
There's
much.
There's a
Thank you so
motion.
much,
Thank you.
Madam Speaker. I move a motion that since the report of the committee is very clear and the contributions of the members is very clear, we have the ministry in charge of the children affairs. I move that we now go for the second reading and you put a question, Madam Speaker.
Seconded. Seconded by Okiror, by Ayo, Kavanda, the youth. The youth have, the children have seconded. The whole house are seconded. Honorable members, I now put a question that the Children's Amendments Bill 2024 be read the second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Children Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage. Clause 1.
Honorable members, Honorable Sereko is here intimidating me.
Right Honorable Speaker, I cannot intimidate you, Madam Chair. And you are aware I cannot. I was only trying to put a point across. And you can pick it here if you want. Of course, definitely.
And it's okay. It's
Definitely.
Okay. It's okay.
That for the youth council
You're now
structure.
going.
No, I'm not. No, don't worry. In future, yeah, I know. For the youth council structures, take it. Maybe it may help you. It's okay, but listen to it. It might affect the electoral college that elects the youth councillors and the youth members of parliament. Just take note.
Okay.
Put it in mind.
We've noted it. Okay, okay.
Clause 1.
Clause 1, Chair.
Thanks very much, Chair. Clause 1, amendment of Section 1 of the Principal Act. Clause 1 is amended by substituting the definition of the word ministry for the following. Ministry means the ministry responsible for children affairs. Justification: to clearly capture the relevant ministry in charge of affairs of children and to ensure clarity. I beg to move.
Minister?
No objection.
I put a question that clause 1 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1 as amended.
I put a question that clause 1 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause.
Honorable, both, I want to appoint you to come and stand in for AG. You escort, Tony escort the AG. He wants to accept. Be on record that you have accepted the appointment for now. While you were in the house, you're supporting the house.
Right, Honorable Chair, thank you for your wise guidance. You've guided me to come and take the right position, because government, there should not be any vacuum in government. Whether the Attorney General is engaged in State House or elsewhere with the traders, the vacuum should not be created. And I accept the challenge and your guidance. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Clause 2.
Clause 2. I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
Clause 3, Chair.
Thanks very much, Chair. Clause 3 is amended by inserting immediately after the word children, the word affairs. Justification. This is in consequential amendment having ratified the definition of the ministry responsible for children and also to ensure clarity.
Honorable Minister.
No objection.
AG.
For the record, my opinion should not be binding here. I'm not holding the proper fort. But as a government, we agree with the position since the minister
Thank
is
you.
here.
I put a question that the clause 3 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3 as amended.
I put a question that clause 3 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I put a question that clause 5 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I put a question that clause 6 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
Clause 7, Chair.
Thanks, Chair. Clause 7 is amended by substituting it for the following. Amendment of Section 43I of the Principal Act. Section 43I of the Principal Act is amended by substituting by subsection 1 the following. Every person to whom a guardianship order is granted shall within 14 days after the grant of the order register the order with the National Identification and Registration Authority and the ministry responsible for children. Justification. To harmonize the provision of the amendments to the National Identification and Registration Authority Bill 2024, which we have just passed, wherein all matters relating to the registration of persons, including children, have been transferred from Uganda Registration Service Bureau to the National Identification and Registration Authority. Secondly, also to avoid ambiguity in the law. I beg to move.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable.
Chair, I just want clarity on that because we are decentralized registration to go to NIRA. But we have also we are doing a double registration here. There's a registration also, NIRA and the Ministry for Children. So are we going to run 2 registers? That's what I want. Just clarity.
We are moving into LIRA. It is consistent with what we passed on the Persons Act. it is consistent with the NERA, URSB, and this one. So we are centralizing.
On the period?
14 days.
That's okay.
Yes. Minister?
I agree with it,
Thank
except
you.
that for consequential amendment, after children, there should be affairs, because earlier we are defined.
Children's affairs.
Yes, responsible for children affairs. So we add the word affairs after children.
So you're making an amendment?
Yes.
Is that okay?
To be consistent, yes.
Chair, agreeable.
AG?
This is good exercise. We concede.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the Minister of Gender with an inclusion of children's affairs. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7 as amended.
I put a question that clause 7 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on to the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
Chair.
Thanks, Chair. Clause 8 is amended by inserting immediately after the word registrar the words of birth and death. Justification: to capture the title of the registrar as it is in the Principal Act, also to ensure clarity. I beg to move.
Minister.
Concur.
AG.
Right, Honorable Chair, it makes sense and is really consequential.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 8 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8 as amended.
I put a question that clause 8 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I put a question that clause 9 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
Clause 10.
Thanks, Chair. Clause 10 is amended by inserting immediately after the word children, the word affairs. B, deleting subsection 3. And C, deleting subsection 4. Then D, inserting immediately after subsection 4 the following. 1, the staff of the authority serving immediately before the commencement of the act shall be deployed to serve in the public service.
We agreed we should not use the word shall.
May. You are right. Thanks very much, Chair. Justification: this is the consequential amendment, having rectified the definition of the ministry responsible for children. The board of the authority has never been operationalized since the enactment of the Children's Amendment Act 2016, and so there was no directors of the board in place. To ensure clarity, to ensure that the staff of the former National Children Authority, who have expertise in the affairs of children, are absorbed in the services of the benefit of supporting the efforts of protecting, may be observed. Yes, may be absorbed. For the benefit of supporting the efforts of protecting the rights of the children. I beg to move with those please.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, in reading this particular clause and reading the certificate of financial implication, I want to inquire from the chairperson, exactly what are you saving? Because the certificate of financial implication talks about this children's authority being merged into a national secretariat, and the cost has been 311 million. Now, you are not telling us what exactly you are chewing by this amendment, because some of this staff are going to be employed in the secretariat. So the certificate is not clear itself.
We are past the stage. We are at committee.
Right Honorable Chair, I think you guided, because really, Honorable Sarah Pendi, my woman, my MP who represents the women and men from Tororo, is a senior member of this House. She is smuggling a phrase we should have been at the main
Debate.
when we're debating. Because right now, I think she lost that opportunity. But as
your woman came late and just wanted to smuggle in to debate.
Thank you.
When people like
I think
Macho
you've
had
already
been here longer.
Much obliged. Thank you for your guidance. Yeah.
Thank you. You, Sarah, you sit. Honorable Minister.
I concur.
Make for me an amendment. Where they shall, it will be may.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that under clause 10(1), the word shall be replaced with the word may.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the Honorable Minister of Gender. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10 as amended.
I put a question that clause 10 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, and the contrary, nay. I have not heard. The ayes have it.
Title.
I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. Sarah, please leave my guest. Sarah, your seat is somewhere there. Sarah, you're my brother.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto.
I put a question that the House does resume and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill, the Children Amendment Bill 2024, and passed it with amendments.
Thank you.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report from the Committee of the Whole House be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted by this august House. Those in favor say and to the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Bill's third reading. The Children Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Children's Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass.
I put a question that the Children Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say and to the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Children Amendment Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill passed. Congratulations. Next.
Bill second reading, the National Youth Council Amendment Bill 2024.
Women. Let's first start with women.
Bill second reading, the National Women's Council Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the National Women's Council Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time.
Is the motion seconded? Seconded by Honorable Helen Asamo, the Minister of Disability, Stephen Kahonda, Atiang, Nathan, Pastor Ojok, all the women and the men. Yes, including Sarah. Including Sarah. Lutamaguzi, the chairman of women. No, Honorable Lutamaguzi Semakola, would you love to speak to that motion?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members. The National Women Council is elected from the village up to national level. Constitutionally, it has the National Women Council, which is the democratic arm of that. It also has a secretariat which serves the National Women Council, and we have about 5 councils, and government deems it fit that we have a powerful national secretariat. We are not dissolving the democratically elected structure. The council that are elected from the village level to the national level will remain as it is for all the councils. The only thing that is being merged is to have one secretariat, well facilitated, that will be serving all the council and undertaking the mandate of ensuring that they function and they are coordinated effectively. So I request that this House accept to grant this national secretariat, which will be more visible, more powerful to serve the councils. I beg to move.
Thank you so much. Could you also move for the youth? Yes,
In
it is the same thing.
In the same vein, I beg to move that the bill, the National Youth Council Amendment Bill 2024, be read the second time.
Seconded? Seconded? Yes, seconded. Now we are on youth. I can see you sitting. Linda, you're tired. Now, Dennis. It is seconded by the whole House. Would you love to speak to it again?
Again, the National Youth Council is a council elected right from the village to the national level, and they have a structure that elects the youth members of parliament in this House. We are not interfering with the democratically elected structure. We are only merging the secretariat and make it more visible, more funded, more coordinated, more efficient as one national secretariat. I request that you support.
Thank you. So can you give us a brief report on youth councils? Brief.
Thanks very much, Chairperson, for this opportunity for me to give a brief report on the Gender, Labor and Social Development of the National Women's Council Amendment Bill 2024. But before I proceed, Chair, allow me, I beg to move to lay on table the minutes and the report.
Thank you.
I start with the women before I proceed to the children. Chair, I will try to be quick. The introduction is that the National Women's Council Amendment Bill was read for the first time on 9th April 2024 and referred to our committee. The background to the bill is already noted by the members. They have read it. Objective of the bill, the main objective of the bill is to give effect to the government policy for rationalization.
The minister has already spoken to the objective.
Yes.
Can you go to
the methodology
observations?
is already the same as others. Rationale for the mergers, it is the same. I think I go now straight to implications. Chair, implication of rationalization in light of affirmative action. During the interaction with the National Women's Council, the committee was informed that the proposed rationalization of social development sector will have the following negative implications. Negative effect on affirmative action. Affirmative action involves complex measures in favor of marginalized groups in order to redress imbalances, which may take years to impact society. The representative of the different councils noted that Uganda had been making progress in this area, but challenges remain. They add that the merging of the secretariat of the councils could reverse the progress. That was the ideas we got from the committee of the council. Moreover, Uganda's notable progress in the affirmative action measures has made the country a leading example for other countries to benchmark on the best practices. 2, generalization of gender issues. Stakeholders contend that merging secretariats will lose the unique aspects of each council, leading to some issues being neglected or forgotten. Unique funding needs could also be ignored or undermined under this arrangement. For example, the multiple types of disability with their need for unique assistance services may be lost in the process. Yes. Yeah. Potential effects on compliance on international instruments. The Social Sector Council secretariats work towards implementation of various human rights instruments that the government is signatory to, which work may be compromised by the merger. These include United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, Agenda 2063, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, Convention on the Rights of Persons with Ability. They just go together. Loss of jobs and further marginalization. The bill in the relevant clauses states that staff of the councils may be redeployed subject to availability of position. This implies that some people may lose their jobs if no positions are available. Hence, further marginalization persons of these groups currently employed. Potential loss of specialized skills. The Parliament's ad hoc committee and rationalization in 2022 report noted that the potential to lose specialized skills and labor as personnel could also opt out to be merged institutions and join the private sector. So we didn't want to lose that. Potential lapse on the social development. The sector exists primarily for promotion of social development of Uganda's peoples, and the current structure tries to ensure inclusively in the planning of all Ugandans.
Procedure matter.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Minister of Sports.
Yeah. Since we have already have that report on our iPads and you have read it and understand it well, why don't we go to the committee stage, right, Honorable Speaker?
Is that? Yes.
Chair, I beg for your indulgence. Let me straight go to the recommendations, observations and recommendations. Effect on the GROW project. The committee observed that, that the generating growth opportunities and productivity for women enterprises GROW project worth $218 million, and the Ministry of Gender has already lost 1 year out of the 5 years, and the rationalization may cause further delay by not specifying the structure for special interest groups, especially the National Council for Women that is part of the implementation structure. Recommendation: the structure for National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups should be expedited so that no more time is lost on the implementation of the GROW project. Conclusion: notwithstanding government's decision to rationalize government agencies, and that includes the National Women's Council, the committee strongly urges that women, being a marginalized group in a society and highly vulnerable to mistreatment and exploitation, it is the committee's fear that the Secretariat to assist all councils of special interest groups in fulfillment of their mandate would diminish their attention to the unique needs and challenges of women. This is also in line with the recommendation of the Parliamentary Ad hoc Committee, which was passed in this House some time back. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much. Just a small observation. And this is to the clerk, to show you that the clerk who wrote this report is an amateur. You cannot say the committee report be adopted. This committee report is informative. We don't take decisions based on committee report. It is an informative report. And I need to know the clerk who writes such reports. The one who wrote the one of agriculture needs a reward. Yes, honorable members. Tony.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, as we process rationalization, I think we should not forget that government plays the central role in the operations of most of these agencies. And we had looked at saving money, bringing money, duplication, and efficiency. Now, on the Women Council, Right Honorable Speaker, if the democratic process, election from village to national level, is allowed, then only the Secretariat to run operations of this special interest group. What would be the problem? In any case, like Parliament, when we were elected, Parliament is here supported by the Secretariat, headed by the clerk, and operation is running. And they provide technical support and advice for operations. So the Secretariat will be providing technical. Now, when you provide here an argument that the GROW program is going to be delayed, I think this is very wrong and misleading. First of all, was the GROW program brought in by the council, Women Council? No, it is government through the ministry. So I think I would urge my colleagues, this is even the same thing with the youth and elderly and persons with disability, so that we save ourselves of this ping pong of arguing on things that may not add much value, and then we move faster. These are straightforward things, Right Honorable. Right Honorable Speaker, I therefore wish to move the motion that, having listened to the committee and seen the value of mainstreaming or bringing these special interest groups to the ministry, I move that question be put and we move to second reading of the motion.
Thank you. I put a question. Is it seconded? Yes. Seconded by Okwiri, by Margaret, by Kolu, by landlord. I put a question that the National Women Council Amendment Bill 2024 be read for the second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. Aye. The ayes have it.
The
Honorable members will rationalize whatever does not bring in money. Whatever takes out money will rationalize. If you're talking about coffee that you have been talking about, there you have some, but now this one, that is a spending body. And we are saying, let's take it to the ministry where it is. Let's do a give and take. We are serving a government. Pilau, what do you think?
I wanted to give you some more information.
PLU.
I wanted to give you some information.
Right, Honorable Speaker, it shouldn't just be about money alone, but also the morals. If there are institutions that nurture our people, it shouldn't always be about money. Like the youth council.
That is the reason the committee has given.
Yeah, because the recommendations of the committee, yes, sometimes I can agree with them, but it shouldn't just be alone about money, but also the morals. If there is an institution like youth councils, women councils that are nurturing leaders, future leaders from the village, that's why nowadays you have people who are not nurtured, but because there is a certain wave, they just come and become leaders. These women councils have been nurturing people from the village, sub-county, parish, district, and we end up having some here. So some of these councils can be thought about and see how they can be protected by this parliament.
They're only having a secretariat.
Because
housing a secretariat.
That one I am happy to hear about it, because the Attorney General was saying they should create a department.
No, they are having their secretariat.
We can have a secretariat and also leave youth council alone.
They are having their secretariat under the minister.
Okay.
Of women. Of gender.
Of gender.
Yes.
Okay. Information.
No, I'm not giving you.
Okay.
The National Women's Council Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage.
Nucleus. Chair.
Thanks very much, Chair. Chair, the bill is amended by inserting new clause immediately before clause 1 as follows. Commencement. This act shall come into force on a date appointed by the minister by statutory instrument. Justification: to give room for the process of rationalization to take effect, and to fast track the efforts of establishing the National Secretariat for Special Interest Groups and administrative functions and structure, so that implementation of the projects like a GROW project are not also delayed.